Good morning, everyone. Today is the 4th of February 2022, and I'm going to be talking today about giving an explanation about Daf 12a in Keretot in the Talmud Bavli using the Steinsaltz Noe Edition. This is my very first YouTube broadcast, and please feel free to leave any comments and subscribe to this channel if you find it of interest. So the Daf continues from the previous one, where a question is brought of whether the brighter of a case of one witness and that they are deemed credible if the testimony does not contradict the testimony of a witness. Therefore, in this case, it is taught that one person can render a person liable to bring a sin offering. The Mishnah teaches that if two witnesses say that someone ate forbidden fat and it is denied, Rabbi Meir deems him liable to bring a sin offering. This conclusion is brought by Rabbi Meir by an inference of a fortiori. If two witnesses could have brought him liability to receive the punishment of death, then the liability to sacrifice an offering which is more lenient. The rabbis dispute this, stating witnesses are unable to render a person liable to bring an offering contrary to their statement. A dilemma ensued before the sages, and the credibility of one of themselves is considered over 100 others. The concept of an advantageous migo claim is referred to here. Migo is defined as a legal argument where a litigant could have made a greater advantageous claim than they actually made, and thereby it is assumed that he or she is telling the truth. One limitation of this is that it does not apply where there are witnesses. The Gemara asks the practical difference between the aforementioned possibilities. One, resolve the case of ritual impurity, being where witnesses testify ritual impurity before entering the temple, but the individual states that this is not the case. If you believe that the rabbi's reasoning is that Migo would deem the person exempt from being obligated to bring a sliding scale offering in the case of old impurity, but would be required in the case of new to bring the aforementioned offering. Why the difference? One could say in regard to the old that immersion in a ritual bath after becoming impure and sunset becoming ritually pure would exempt from bringing an offering on entry to the temple the following day. In the case of the new, witnesses upon entry to the temple could say they could not have purified themselves in the meantime. What is the reasoning of the rabbis? The Gemara suggests Tashama from a brighter. One witness said that a person became impure and he protests thus he is potter for bringing the offering. Fortiori stated, and the rabbis deem one credible about themselves greater than the testimony of 100 people. The Gemara explains its suggestion to learn from the Brisa this reasoning. Rabbi Ami counters and states the rabbi's reasoning is migo and is teaching that if one wished to stay, that they immersed, thus not remaining in their impure state, they would be exempt, and therefore they are deemed credible over 100. They are deemed credible about themselves greater than the testimony of 100 people. The Gemara raises the question, if so, this case is identical to the Mishnah already discussed of eating the forbidden fat. The Gemara brings a further brighter tashama of an explanation of the rabbi's opinion, which discusses the case of defiling of the temple by entering the temple, partaking of sacrificial food, or eating of sacred foods in a state of rich impurity. A pasuk is brought in Vayikra Heitavav describing if one be guilty of these things, confess, bring for sin offering. Here it seems to indicate that verbal confession of the sin leads to the liability of the sin offering. The Brisa continues, the rabbis whose opinions cited in the Mishnah book concede to Rabbi Huda regarding denying the accusation of two witnesses. One, ate forbidden fats, and two, entering the temple in a state of impurity. And if they did not do these things, is deemed credible. However, they do not concede to him in these cases where witnesses say that they entered the temple or ate sanctified, was not impure. They accept the opinion of Rabbi Meir that two witnesses' testimony render him obligated to bring an offering despite the denial of the transgression. This section ends by the Gemara raising the question of what type of impurity we are dealing with. I hope this made sense, and I wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Take care. Bye.